Welcome to this explainer. Okay, picture this. You've just finished the absolute nightmare that is moving. You're exhausted, surrounded by boxes, and the absolute last thing you want to do is sit in a hard plastic chair at a DMV waiting for your number to be called. For the longest time, I thought that was just a necessary evil of moving. But keeping your driver's license info up to date isn't just a suggestion. It's actually a strict legal requirement, and ignoring it can cause some real problems down the line. But here is the good news. Today, we're diving into how Alaska's digital systems actually let us check this box, stay totally compliant, and keep our sanity, all from the comfort of your own couch.
Seriously, moving is stressful enough, but discovering the state's digital portal, it honestly feels like finding a cheat code for life. Their motto is basically online equals no line. In today's digital age, efficiency is everything, right? So by taking advantage of the Alaska Division of Motor Vehicles' online change of address system, we are literally saving ourselves hours of waiting in line, driving across town, and wrestling with government paperwork. They've transformed what used to be a dreaded day-long chore into something you can knock out on your phone while drinking your morning coffee.
But here is the catch. When you change your residential or mailing address, the clock immediately starts ticking. You literally only have 10 days to notify the DMV. Now, if you really dig deep into Alaska Statute AS 28.05.71, you might see it mention a 30-day window in some very specific legal contexts. But the state's public-facing DMV documents aggressively enforce this 10-day rule. So as a best practice to avoid any bureaucratic nightmares whatsoever, you need to act fast and just treat that 10-day deadline as absolute law.
So here's how we're going to break this process down today. First, the 10-day clock. Second, before you log on. Third, the online process. Fourth, confirming your new address. Fifth, edge cases and troubleshooting. And finally, a quick recap and final steps.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the 10-day clock.
So what happens if you just ignore this 10-day deadline? Well, it can lead to some pretty serious headaches. The biggest one by far is missing your vehicle registration renewal notices. Think about it. If your address is wrong in the DMV system, your renewal notice just goes to the wrong house. You can end up driving around with expired tags simply because you never actually got the mail. It's this crazy cascading effect of non-compliance, and it all starts with just a simple address error.
Okay, moving on to part two, before you log on.
You might be thinking you need a mountain of paperwork for this, but you really don't. You simply need 4 basic things ready to go: your current driver's license number, your date of birth, your current mailing address, and your current physical address. One quick thing to note, though, your physical address has to be an actual location, like a street, a milepost, or a physical building. It absolutely cannot be a P.O. box. Once you've got those 4 items handy and a stable internet connection, you are totally ready to go.
And here is the absolute best part about this whole thing. Simply updating your address online in the state's database is completely free. $0. In a world where everything usually involves fees, taxes, and surprise convenience costs, notifying the Alaska DMV of your new location won't cost you a dime. That makes this online route by far the most cost-effective and convenient method out there.
Let's get into the nuts and bolts in part 3, the online process.
The actual mechanics here are incredibly straightforward. For step 1, you're going to navigate to the state's change of address system online. Step 2, just enter your current license info, followed by your new physical and mailing addresses. You definitely want to double-check everything here for typos, of course. Then, step 3, you hit submit. Bam! That updates your driver's license profile in their system. But wait, don't celebrate just yet, because we aren't quite done.
I need you to listen closely right here, because learning this was a massive light bulb moment for me, and it is the #1 reason people end up missing important mail. The driver's license database and the vehicle registration database in Alaska are completely separate systems. Yes, you heard that right. Updating your driver's license does absolutely nothing to update the address attached to your actual car. Because they are separate, you have to explicitly update your vehicle records too. Now, you don't necessarily need the DMV to print you a shiny new card. Under state rules, you can literally just grab a pen, physically cross out the old address on your current paper registration card, and write the new one right there on the paper. It is hilariously low-tech, but hey, it works perfectly and it's legal. Or, if you do want a clean, system-generated replacement registration card with your new address printed on it, you can just order one online for a tiny fee of $2.
Let's look at part 4, confirming your new address.
So what's the actual timeline for this? Well, after you submit your online request on day 1, you're going to get an emailed receipt. Keep that because it acts as your temporary proof. Behind the scenes, the online processing usually completes in about 3 to 5 business days. And if you went ahead and requested a brand new physical driver's license card to carry in your wallet, you should expect that to show up in your mailbox in about 2 to 4 weeks.
Moving right along to Part 5, Edge Cases and Troubleshooting.
Now, we know not everyone fits the standard mold. For instance, if you're active duty military, the Service Member Civil Relief Act actually allows you to retain your home state residency, but you still have to keep your physical and mailing addresses updated in the Alaska system online. What about Alaskans in remote rural communities off the road system where standardized addresses don't even exist? The state actually uses mobile DMV units to help with in-person credentialing out there. And this is super important. If you are a brand new resident transferring from out of state, you can't use this online portal at all. You have exactly 90 days to physically visit a DMV office to transfer your license, and just 10 days to register your vehicle.
Let's say you hit a roadblock. Here are some really handy workarounds. Are you trying to change your name and your address at the exact same time? Stop right there. You have to update your records with the Social Security Administration first, otherwise the DMV won't process it. If the online portal completely glitches out on you, don't panic. The state actually has a dedicated DMV email portal where you can manually send your plate number, name, date of birth, and new physical address to just force the update through. Finally, for military personnel stationed outside of Alaska who have an expiring license, you can request specialized extension letters to make sure you remain legally compliant.
All right, we made it to the last section, Part 6, Recap and Final Steps.
So, to quickly recap this incredibly simple digital process, Step 1, gather up your license number and your new addresses. Step 2, beat that strict 10-day clock by updating your profile on the state's online portal. Step 3, and remember, this is the crucial one people forget, make sure you update that separate vehicle database. You can update your paper registration by hand with a pen or order a new one for $2. And Step 4, just hold on to that temporary email receipt and wait for your mailed confirmation. Just a quick professional reminder before we wrap up. Administrative timelines and government rules are always subject to change. The info in this explainer is current as of August 22, 2026, so always do yourself a favor and verify your specific requirements, fees, and deadlines directly with the official Alaska Division of Motor Vehicles website before you start clicking away.
The shift from standing in an endlessly long, miserable line to just tapping a few buttons from your sofa is pretty profound when you think about it. It really begs the question, as state agencies continue to closely link our physical locations to our digital profiles, how does digitizing these basic civic duties change our relationship with the government? What does the future of our digital identity really look like? I'll leave you with that provocative thought to chew on. I hope this explainer empowered you to easily manage your records and get back to enjoying your life in Alaska. Stay focused and stay compliant.